Hi everyone, welcome back to Sariel and the Sword of Azathoth, the RPG story where I combine Mythic Game Master Emulator, Scarlet Heroes, and U.com to create a Indiana Jones inspired story. It's all improvised, I play solo, and we go on adventures. This is episode 5, and we are just beginning Act 2. In the last episode, Sariel managed to get out of Sam Salazar's house. He was a merchant, and she got out 12 unidentified scrolls. Knowing this is a majority of the scrolls, she's very confident she managed to get the right one to accomplish her goal, because she is a thief. However, she needs to have them authenticated by her accomplice Marcus in order to be sure. So, did she fulfill her mission, or did she not? They were 20 scrolls. She got 12 out of them. The other 8 were stolen by her rival Dario. So, one of the two has the scroll. Hopefully, it'll be us. Now, before I start on Scene 1, let me just do a tiny bit of bookkeeping. Hang on with me, it's gonna be real quick. First of all, I made Sariel level up, because I figure she can level up once per act. We went through 5 episodes. Well, this is the 5th episode, so in the progression of Scarlet Heroes, she definitely gained a new level. So she gained 2 HP. And she also gained a little bit of her attack bonus. It's at 2.5. Scarlet Heroes is a little confusing about that. I don't know if I should round up or down. I'll round up since it's a heroic thing. And then I also added 2 to her abilities. One because she's a thief, and second one because everyone gains a trait when they level up in Scarlet Heroes. So I gave her climbing because that's one of the things she did to get to the scrolls. And I also gave her a point in disguises because she used the disguise to enter Sam Salazar's home. Now, moving on to the adventure lists. Because recently I did a video on how you should do adventure lists, and I realized I didn't do them quite right. So here are my tweaks and also a few things I added to the threads and characters list. So our first goal is to meet with the job contact. That's going to be whatever happens, if I have the scrolls or not, I will have to check in with them. I have another goal, which is to find out who is tasking us with getting the scroll. Because I think Sariel only dealt with intermediates. She didn't deal with the client herself. I am eliminated this one. I was wondering what was the contest artifact after all. That was from episode 2. We didn't get to talk to the contest winner during the party, so bye-bye. Now I have other questions I would like to answer during the series. And this is, how did Sariel meet Dario? It was kind of hinted at last time that they kind of grew up together. In the first episode, I also said that they had a short relationship. We explored the reason for their breakup in the flashback episode. But still, I wonder, how did they meet? And also, how did she meet Marcus, her sidekick, her partner in crime? Now, I added one thing to the characters list. This is because you can add game events in the characters list. I didn't know before doing my video. So since she's a thief, if I ever roll on the characters list and get this entry, she will have an opportunity to steal something. It's kind of her perpetual temptation. I'm trying to play Sariel as a good hero, but she's kind of in the gray zone. So I will let a random chance kind of guide her character development on that. Is she as good as we have seen her behave through the episodes, or is she normally a little bit more thieving and morally grey? I'm sure we will find out in the next episodes. But now, we come to my expected scene. If you don't know, I always have to predict what I would like to happen, and then I will have to roll against my chaos factor. If I have more than 5 on a d10, we will have the expected scene. If not, we may have a slightly altered scene or something completely different interrupt the flow of things. So I'm definitely hoping Sariel and Marcus, after escaping the city of Al-Wadi, which is where the theft happened, that they will find a sure spot to go through the scrolls, and we will know if we got the right one, or if we're gonna have to find a way to get it. Well, let's roll that d10. There we go. It's 10. Last night, after hours of grueling travel in the cold, slumbering desert, the chief and her accomplice managed to find shelter under a small desert tree. When they finally wake up in late morning, they quickly take a bite from their provisions, and with anticipation, they start poring over the scrolls. So, looking at the map, I'm thinking they probably exited Al-Wadi, probably crossed whatever river, and they probably are kind of in that general zone. Probably away from the body of water, because that's where there would be like a bunch of villages all along it. So they're probably kind of in that area, I would imagine. Now going back, Sariel is filled with anticipation, with excitement and dread at the same time. She says,
Come on. Give me a positive answer, man. I swear, if our scroll ain't in there...
Just wait a second. These things aren't always obvious, replies Marcus with exasperation.
Don't screw me over now.
She mumbles under her breath. Now, I have also some anticipation. I really want her to have the scroll. So I will roll a 1d20, and if I get 12 or less, we do have the scrolls. Otherwise, it's Dario. There's no in between, there's no we missed the scrolls. I'm gonna make it simple. It's either us or him. Why? We got a 17. That is fucking annoying. Marcus goes through the scrolls. Then, without looking up at Sariel, he goes through them again.
Come on, man. What's taking so long?
Marcus stays silent.
What? Wait, you can't be serious. It's not there. Are you telling me I did all of this for nothing?
She looks furious. They told us the scroll was going to be about the fortress of Azathoth. But there's no fortress in there. No Azathoth.
Now you go through it again.
She says, half screaming, half pleading.
It has to be there.
It's not there.
Show me.
Marcus walks her through the different scrolls. There are fragments of well-known religious stories, old accounting books, furniture lists, and even the recipe for some kind of pie. But nothing that could remotely be what they were searching for. We'll end the scene there. And, of course, we will add a 1 to the chaos. What a letdown. Now we begin scene 2 on Chaos 6. So, even though they didn't accomplish the goal, I think it would be pretty crazy if they can track down Dario. So, I think the safest bet is to meet back with their contact. They're supposed to meet them in Ruma. And hopefully we'll know more. Perhaps the contact might know who hired Dario and what he might be after. Perhaps we can still save this, or Well, we'll see, eh? So now I have to roll to see if what I expect will occur. So I need a 7 or more. Close, but not enough. So since we got a 6, we have an interrupt scene. So pretty much anything could happen. I will need to roll a 100. 44 gives us NPC negative. Which NPC though? We need to roll again. I need to roll out of 10. And we have a 4. So it's going to be related to Sam Salazar. But it feels a little unlikely that he would expect the Chiefs to go our way. I mean, it's a pretty big zone. So perhaps it's going to be someone under his employment. To help me, I will appeal to a meaning table. And I will go with adventure tone. I think this will give us a lot better context to figure out what this could be. So I need to roll again. 10 and 3 for a total of 13. We have busy. $96. Oh. Vengeance. On the road to Ruma, our adventurers encounter a man with 2 donkeys and a wagon full of goods. Out of habit, Sariel starts talking to him while trying to get a peek of his goods. I will have Sariel try to roll a 9 on Charisma to gain enough trust with him to learn more about this man and his goods. She has a -1, so it won't be all that easy. That is a 6. She cannot do it.
Oh, I see you with your sly eye, young lady. I wasn't born yesterday. I know girls like you don't get an interest in old men like me all of a sudden. Be gone now.
Marcus has an idea, however. They still have their useless scrolls, so maybe he can pawn them off on the grumpy old man. He has to be careful, however, or it'll be obvious they stole them. Sir, excuse my partner here, but when we saw you, we figured you were a vendor of some kind. We're just wondering if we could do business. To kind of save this, now it's Marcus that has to roll a 9 or higher. There we go. That is a 13.
Business is it? Sure, let me show you what I've got.
He stops his donkeys and opens the flap at the back of his carriage. As Sariel and Marcus come closer, they see he's holding a large crossbow.
Oh, now, don't do anything regrettable now. It takes one to know one, if you understand me.
The inside looks full of different antiques. Sariel and Marcus look at each other. Half of these look like items from the Enchanted Emporium in Al-Wadi. Out of his inventory, he singles out 3 items that could be of particular use to them. The man shows them a dagger that hides inside a walking cane, an ornate old grappling hook, and a set of lockpicks that hides inside a leather bracer. Sariel is tempted by the dagger, but perhaps it would be more of a luxury, as daggers aren't very hard to conceal in the first place. As she makes her mind, Marcus scans through the other objects. And I want to give him a chance to finally solve a thread we had for a while. Can Marcus finally notice the most valuable object from episode 2? He needs to do his intelligence check of 13, just as before. Looking at the notes, he has a +2 to do that. So he needs 11 on the 2, in total on the D8s. Come on, Marcus, do it finally. It would be so cool. Oh, that is so close though. Marcus senses an opportunity. I remember, last week there was this contest in one of Mr. Salazar's antique shops. The old man's nose twitches slightly as Marcus says that name. There was some kind of object people could find. I could never find it myself. Do you know anything about this? So I have two fate questions. Does the old man know about the contest object? And if so, does he mind selling it to our adventurers? I think the first one is a 50-50 chance, and the second one would be very unlikely if we get that. Okay, that's exceptional, yes. With a 1. Does he mind selling it to our adventurers? He doesn't, because it's under the 35 we needed. Oh, I worded it wrong. Well, I meant it was very unlikely was gonna sell it to them. Okay, I've rephrased it, but as you can imagine, I said it's very unlikely was gonna sell it. Otherwise, it would have been the other way around, but that wouldn't make sense. The man starts laughing.
Do I know anything about it? Yes, I know.
He says with an exaggerated tone of irony.
Sam, this old fool, thinks it's some kind of magic statuette just because he read about it on some old stone or something. He spent months trying to prove he was onto something. I thought it would be funny to bring it along with me.
He starts laughing again, bending over backward and shaking the whole wagon doing so.
Here, have it for free. It's a little souvenir from me,
he says with a wicked smile. Our protagonist tried to give the parchments in return, but he wants none of those musty old time wasters, as he calls them. Seeing he won't be able to squeeze money out of them, the old man excuses himself and goes back on his way, with a slightly quicker pace this time. We arrive at the end of our scene, and we reduce the chaos by 1, because we got something that might be pretty freaking good. But hopefully we'll learn more about this in the next episode, because I'm ending the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like and subscribe if you do. And I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.